welcome to the past, which has quote, better graphics. Okay, that's not true. The graphics are way worse, but more nostalgic graphics. But either way, so we're now on a private server because the playtest is over, and as I suspected, the practice mode is better here. Like if I can shoot real gun, if I just tap reload, they instantly go back to full bullet, and they have infinite. So this is gonna really help with practicing reload shot. But one thing that's really interesting is I was right. There is no option for quick dash, and there's no option for auto reload. So it wasn't me misremembering things. But there is one thing that I did see, which is kind of cool, which is we talked about yo-yos. So this server lets you enable female yo-yos, which is what I was talking about that I could do on the real server that I couldn't do back in the day that you couldn't do back in the day on female character. Okay, so what I just said is kind of wrong. This is a sword yo-yo. Apparently, I was told that female character have always been able to do those. What is different is that female character could not shotgun yo-yos, which is this. This is a shotgun yo-yo. Instead of, I never pull out my sword, and I'm able to do sword dash going from shotgun to shotgun. So that's cool. Also, the cosmetics are so much cooler. I look so cool now. Wait. This is okay. My character was male back in the day. I just make a girl for no reason, but I did have this hat. There's so much nostalgia packed into this hat for me. I think I look pretty cool. You know, like I don't know. It's pretty good. I was kind of disappointed in the playtest about how the game looks and how the cosmetic look. I mean, there wasn't any right? Like I only had the default one, which was that kind of slutty dress. But now I can kind of look like the edgy version of a Jet Set Radio character, which is really what I wanted and what the game used to be. So hopefully these cosmetics make it to the real version, because I'd love to look something like this. You know, I got my swag on. But otherwise, there's something else I was wrong about. So in the last video, I said sorry. I'm trying to do a half step. So I said this was a half step, right? Like doing a half step then jumping after. That was wrong. Really, like what I was doing is I was doing a half step and then jumping, right? Like this is, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna cut until I do it like I get a good example. While doing this, a half step, that is not true. All that was a half step with a jump at the end. Like that's not what a half step is. A half step requires you to swap late and buffer a jump, and then you do a weird little like hop, like this. This is a half step. As you can see, it's totally different. Well, that was another one, but it's totally different from doing this, right? Like I'm not getting all that momentum. I did find a video that explains like every technique in like an extremely straightforward and good way, and I'm definitely gonna like put it on screen literally right now. And I really recommend that video. And one, it's very well done, and two, it was like just cool to see all the technique I remembered. So the devil in the detail right now is still consistently doing the right dashes. If I'm mashing and not being mindful, I'll get the wrong kind of dash, which I can't cancel into what I'm looking for. Sometimes I'll even accidentally gear tap, which is also obviously not ideal. It's not worse, but it's different, right? It's a completely different technique, so I don't want that to come out anytime. Anyway, it's a 15th right now, and I'm hoping we can see some good improvement in the rest of the week. I also found this pretty nice big wide map. I'm probably gonna play here for a while. It's probably not very good for like wall climbing. Yeah, like look, there's even like little walls that block you in. Like, but there's a lot of space, so I'm not gonna be bumping into walls every 2 seconds. So that's already nice. From the last video, I mentioned a YouTuber, Tendori, which made himself like a little agility course. I'm not gonna do that. Like I said, I'm gonna stay on this map and just really grind out my ground game, for lack of a better word. I'm just too inconsistent at every trick. I also added an APM counter, which is just gonna be fun. right? Like, yeah, it was kind of a pain in the ass to set up, but I like the idea of seeing my APM rise over time as I get better. But yeah, otherwise I'm going to speed through a bunch today, because at this point in the video, I'm pretty much exactly the same skill level as the last one, really. Like, this is the beginning of the beginning of the beginning. So yeah, today's the 20th of December. Pretty much this is going to be the last few clips I'll show. So I'm just going to be doing random stuff, right? And I can talk about it. So my consistency, I gotten a lot better, which is not necessarily super well showcased in this video, but the difference is kind of crazy. Like I'm doing a lot less mistake. I can generally chain like as many half step as I want, for example. And like gear taps and whatnot. So my ground game is getting to a level which is not necessarily respectable, but playable, right? Like I mean, it's obviously still holding me back, but compared to before, like I'm playing the video game, right? Like my APM isn't like piss low. Like yeah, I can somewhat sustain my energy. Let's call it that. Obviously, I'll still make a lot of mistakes, but yeah, like GunZ is such a difficult game that I expected this. Like it feels like I'm barely scratching the surface. Like if this was any fighting game, like if I was learning a jury combo in Street Fighter, like Mu 12 combo in BlazBlue, or an area combo in 2XO, or like you know, any of those games. Like at this point, like I would have my BNB downs, right? Like I could just play the game, and then I'm in the theoretical, like it's the strategy of it all, and learning matchups and stuff like that. But here, look, it's still just a pure mechanical barrier. I don't know how long it's going to take me to reach a level that I'm comfortable with, or not necessarily a level that I'm comfortable with, but a level where I can go online and just mess around and have fun against other players. So before I filmed this, I went online for a little bit. Obviously, it's a private server, so I assume it's going to be even harder. Oh yeah, look at it, how bad I still am at double butterfly though. So yeah, before I filmed this, I played some games online. Like it was pretty goddamn awful. Here's some clip.
Let's rock.
Yeah, like I'm really I'm not ready yet. I assume it's even more difficult because it's on private server, but by the end, like the guy that was carrying us left, and then they just started toying with me, so I also left. There wasn't much fun to be had, let's be real. I know there's some people that are always like, oh, you should always want to play much better players because you can learn from them because they're playing the game very well. But I always disagree with that take, because honestly, every time I die against people like that, I just don't know what's happening. Like they're doing some absolutely insane shit that my brain just can't keep up with. Okay, that's not entirely true, because I figured out that what I think my next step should be, which is So I've been practicing like more consistent like grounded technique, just the extreme basics, like nothing fancy or special. And rather than looking at double butterfly, which I'm doing right now, like surprisingly not terribly and terribly at the same time. But we gotta mix of both. What I've really noticed is my transitions are bad. Like people are going from the ground to the walls, like at the drop of hat, and it's not a problem at all. And they're really using like every surface and every dimension possible at the same time. So I think that's gonna be the next step of going back to a map with verticality. Just like doing what I'm doing now in the dojo, but running around and transitioning the wall anytime I can. And in any direction really, because that was crazy. Their aim was also nuts too. It felt like they could flick in any direction while we were both moving like pretty fast. Anyway, pretty happy about my progress, and I think in like a month I'll be pretty happy where I'm at. Obviously, all of this practice right now is just cherry on top because I don't personally plan to actually really play on private server. Like I don't think it's my vibe for this game. I'd rather play on the Steam version. Sure, I did say last time that if that shuts down, maybe I'll move on to private server, but that is assuming I've like actually been playing the game, you know? Yeah, otherwise, good week. I'll keep it up and probably see you next week. I could advertise again for my friend's game, and I will. You can't stop me. So I'm gonna leave you guys on that, and I'm gonna wish you a good Christmas, I guess. It's at about that time, huh? And next week I won't be able to practice as much, but it's not like there's much pressure when the real server aren't even online. As I said, I don't super plan to put on private server. That's gonna be a last resort if the real version shuts down in like a year and a half after it comes out or something. But that's even assuming that I even stick around that long, which I hope I do. I think it's a cool game, and yeah, I don't think I'll regret it. Even though this is like awful, if you look at it objectively, right? I'm like 10 days in and I've achieved like pretty much nothing. I think in the end the effort will like be worth it. I think I'll look back on this fondly. It's a cool game. It's part of my for its culture, right? It's an esport culture. All these pro players that you'd probably be surprised by have like played this game. I think Chovy, like the mid lane monster of Korean League of Legends, played GunZ. You know, it's there's a lot of overlap. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm going to plug my friend's game again. It's called RuneWard. I'm gonna drop a link in the comment. I'd really appreciate it if you looked at it. It's an MMORPG that's surprisingly well done compared to its peers. Okay, I made it sound like not a compliment. It's just straight up well done. The netcode is far beyond like 99.9% of indie game, and it's quality enough to compete with AA and AAA experience. So look forward to that, and thanks for watching.